everybody. Welcome to InSight Interviews from VROCP. This is Liz Stanley Swope, and I am so proud today to be interviewing our new Chief Executive Officer, Miss Cheryl Cuddy, who has been here for quite a number of years, longer than me, and she has had a number of different positions within the organization, and boy, oh boy, we're so happy to have her at the top now. So, Cheryl, will you introduce yourself and give us some background, please?
Sure. Thank you, Liz. It's still a bit surreal to me. However, I did start with Tri-County Association for the Blind 19 years ago as a part-time prevention specialist, where I would put my children on the school bus and then go to preschools and daycare centers and screen children's eyes, looking for some abnormalities that maybe the children or the parents weren't aware of. It's a program we do still continue. It helps get kids to their eye doctors. As we like to preach, kids know what they see, not what they should see. So it's nice to help them at that level. That was fun. I did that for a few years. And then started the eye clinic here. We started with eyeglasses only and then moved into eye exams when we moved into this building. And then I took a part-time position upstairs working events and volunteer management, and brought social media pretty much into play here. And then a little later, in 2012, we opened our Low Vision Center. So I took hold of that as well. And I went full-time, I think, in 2014 when my youngest graduated high school. And then I've just been kind of, maintaining that role as community relations director since. And on July 31st, I took over the running of the agency as the CEO after an extensive interview process here with many other candidates. So I'm pleased to come out on this side of it.
Yeah, we are too. And so you've worked in almost every division here except, let's see, carpeting and pen production.
Right.
You have worked in radio reading because you've subbed for readers quite a few times.
I have volunteered, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And so maybe paychecks you've never done.
I haven't. Now I sign them.
Yes, now you sign them. Okay. And so what all does the new job encompass?
Well, I'm still feeling my way, but it's very interesting. It's a lot of personnel. It is relationships that we have with other agencies, such as the Pennsylvania Association for the Blind, of which we're a member, Unique Source, of which we're a member, and I'm still going out there and talking in the community. I'm working a health fair tomorrow. It's been a challenge, training individuals in the areas I used to cover, so we're still working through that, but everyone is in place, and we have some really good new hires as well. And kind of finding my way still. I'll have a board meeting next week, and that'll be my first kind of to take it from 0 to. And I have a list of questions still for our previous executive director, Danette Blank, who is stopping in hopefully this afternoon to answer a few of those. But it's been fun. It's been interesting. It's been very challenging. Until I do get a hold of everything. It's a lot of long days and nights.
I'm sure.
But I welcome it, and I look forward to hopefully taking some of our current programs, expanding or, enriching, especially our business services that fund what we do here, what you do here.
How many board members are there?
We have 17 board members currently. Our board members serve a 3-year term, although they are allowed to do a second 3-year term. After that, they must go off the board for at least a year, and if they choose to come back at some point, that is not a problem. 17 now. I know as of June 30th, we're losing 4. So we've had a couple people interested, and I've done some interviews, and we're going to try to bring them on board. We are allowed to have, I believe, 20 is the number. So we may be vetting we had some new young people interested that we met
Nice.
through the Harrisburg Young Professionals.
Nice, very nice.
They did a meeting here because we do, of course, rent meeting space. So they did a meeting here and allowed me to tell them about our agency and some of the things we do. They took an immediate interest, and two of them asked to be, considered for our board of directors. So they'll get introduced in October and voted in. And then we also got from that project, I'm sorry I'm taking us off board members now, but we got from that meeting with Harrisburg Young Professionals, a group of them is taking on a little ad hoc project for us where they would like to go out to area restaurants and discuss if they have a Braille access menu.
Wonderful.
There's so not enough of that. And we have Londa here who can
Yes.
do that type of thing in-house. It's, especially now that companies are being so much more aware of inclusion and equity and diversity, it's important that our population that's visually impaired is able to go to the
Absolutely.
restaurant and read the menu for themselves
Absolutely.
without it being read to them or repeated to them. I know
Yeah.
I mull over a menu multiple times before making a selection. So if somebody simply rattled it all off to me, I'd be at a bit of a loss. So
I wonder if we should maybe put the menu on a thumb drive. Some of them might have their little computers with them and be able to stick a thumb drive in and have it read to them.
that's a possibility
That's a
too. We can
possibility.
offer
We
it.
could just,
we can,
Yep, we could just think about it.
yeah. So as they're out there, that's something I can mention to them
Great.
to offer as well.
That's wonderful. That's very good. And then you said something about 100 employees, something like that. Did I
Yeah, we
hear you
do
right?
have over 100 employees here. Very few of us are here in the building, as you know. The majority of our staff is with our VR business services, our business-to-business division, and they're out doing commercial flooring and carpeting, commercial custodial work, the maintenance and cleaning of floors and carpeting, and we have our production facility downstairs that utilizes a good bit of people, and in that business-to-business division, about 75% are individuals with disabilities of any kind. Doesn't have to be visual.
They don't have to have visual impairments.
No.
Just
Any
a
physical,
disability.
mental, it doesn't matter. So, and it is not a sheltered workshop environment. It is competitive employment. In fact, there are prevailing wage jobs we do, and anything that we do in the city buildings, they have enforced an hourly wage of $16.17.
Really?
So some of our kids and disabled individuals cleaning buildings for the state are earning that per hour. And the carpet
That's
installers doing
wonderful.
prevailing wage make a good bit of money. So it's not, yeah.
So these people that you hire are not making $5 an hour
Oh.
or $2 an hour.
No, that wouldn't even be legal.
Yeah,
I think,
okay.
what is it, 7 something
I
is
think
our
it's 7, yeah.
minimum? Yeah. No, some of them are, they have to start that way, but if they're in specific buildings, in state jobs or on specific jobs, that is designated by the government, not us.
Well, that's great. That's
It is
great.
great.
And
And that's how you can keep the good ones
That's right.
sometimes.
And that's why we need to keep that business going.
Yes.
Because that's how a nonprofit is getting money.
Yeah, they actually, the business-to-business division funds 80 to 85% of our services here that we offer, including audio and the eye clinic and
Right.
Londa's brailing.
Right. Now, I would assume that the other 20% or a good portion of it comes from the events that you use to coordinate.
Yeah, a little bit does come from events. We do get a little bit of state money through the Pennsylvania Association for the Blind. They're the administrative group that will divide that money out through all the blind associations in Pennsylvania. Every county of our state is covered by an agency similar to ours. So we have a little bit of that. We do our events. We do other fundraising, of course, just in annual appeals and such, grant writing, you name it.
So what 4 counties do you service?
Cumberland, Dauphin, Franklin, and Perry counties are our service territory. Now that goes as far as our services. Our business services, we can go anywhere throughout the state.
Okay.
Even our low vision center, people don't have to be within those 4 counties, because that is more like a physician practice, and we bill their health insurance. So it's basically just the things that we do through the Pennsylvania Association for the Blind that we adhere to our 4-county area. But it is the 4 counties we like to keep our events in, and
Right.
and there are people. They're the people we want to know that we're out there for.
Yeah, yeah. Now, when you moved from 3 counties to 4, is that when you changed your name?
Yes, that's when Tri-County became obsolete. And at that same time, it just seemed that we as a society were moving away from just kind of labeling it the blind. And so pretty much became a trend through the state that there was a lot of rebranding on, quote, blind associations. And there's a lot of, now there's a Vision Corps down in York and Lancaster. There is, we're Vision Resources of Central Pennsylvania. And it's become, Vision Source.
Yeah. It's a much more user-friendly name.
It is, and it better depicts what goes on here.
Absolutely.
Depicts,
Right.
excuse me, because we have this low vision rehab center. So people have lost a little bit of sight, maybe a significant amount of sight, that they will not regain. And they were being referred to us for low vision. But the minute you tell someone who is sensitive with a recent loss of vision, I'd like you to go to the Blind Association, that's a red flag. I'm not
sure
blind.
is.
I don't need them.
Right.
So I think while it's helped us in that way, we're still, believe it or not, having trouble with people recognizing who we are, that we are Tri-County Association for the Blind, just simply renamed.
Now, what constitutes low vision?
Low vision is anyone who sees 20/70 or less in their best eye corrected. So no matter what we give you, the best you'll ever be able to see is 20/70. Whereas legal blindness is 2200 in your best eye corrected.
Okay. And so someone comes in and they meet the criteria for low vision, and you say that that's no matter what you give them. What do you do for them?
We try to help them to utilize the vision that they have. There is, even though they may be 20/70 in their best eye, if it's macular degeneration, you will never go completely blind with macular degeneration. You'll always have peripheral, because that only attacks your center vision. So we can teach them something like eccentric viewing, where while I am looking at you right now, the center vision might be black, so I'm not seeing your face. But while I'm looking at you, I can still see what your arms are doing using my peripheral vision. So we're able to teach people where on the clock might be your best vision, and how to kind of train yourself to look straight ahead, but use that peripheral, because you may be able to see 20/40 with your peripheral vision.
Interesting.
It's a process, and
Yes,
it requires a lot
yes.
of training, because we are all creatures of habit. And
No,
I
sure
want to
we
I want
are.
to see something, I'm going to look directly at it.
Right. Because that's the way you've been your whole life, and so now
Yes.
you're 70 years old.
And we're
first
going to
time-
teach you a new way
and
to
you're
see.
going to teach me a new way to see. Yeah, right. And how about glaucoma?
Glaucoma is, yes, you can go blind from glaucoma, unfortunately. And it's a lot harder to regulate, for the doctors with the pressures and the drops. Glaucoma takes away your peripheral. So usually you'll have that center.
Yeah.
And
That's just the opposite, really,
it
of
is,
macular
exactly.
degeneration.
And sadly, my father had both.
Oh,
So that didn't bode very well for him.
Oh.
But, we have these tools and devices, and the very little bit that he could see, I was able to get him a CCTV. And the beauty of something like that, while expensive, it grows with your needs. It's not a specific magnification level.
Uh-huh.
So he was able to still read the sports page. What was it out at that point in his life? Maybe 3 times a week.
Uh-huh.
But he was retired. He didn't care how long it took
Yes.
to read the sports page.
Yeah.
And he'd put it under the machine, and even if there were just 2 words on an entire computer-sized
my.
screen, he was reading it.
But just imagine yourself in that position, and you're trying to get used to 2 words on the whole screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but the beauty is, it's like, it's out there.
That's
and
right.
we're willing to help you access it
Yeah.
and teach you how to use it. And that's why we have 90-some-year-old clients with equipment, computer
right.
devices that are helping them still be able to do their knitting or paint
Yeah.
or read their mail, write
Right.
their checks, whatever it is that they want to do, and remain independent and feel like they're living their lives.
Yeah, I can see where that's so beneficial. And tell me a little bit about your occupational therapist and what she does.
Oh, we have Anna Pantalone. She is an occupational therapist, but she is specialty certified in low vision, which is extremely rare and hard to find. So Anna's been a blessing to us and our low vision center. She has been able to take what we and our doctors do to an entirely different level. While we were able to access devices and get them for people and even teach them to use them, when you add the level of the occupational therapist, you now have someone who's going to recognize, while this individual visually needs this 4x 12 diopter magnifier, if they're not able to hold their hand still, or they're not strong enough
sure.
to hold it up and hold the magazine, that's not going to be
It's
the
not
right
useful
device.
for them.
Let's modify this. Let's find a stand, or let's find a version of it that they can use in a different manner. So her evaluations of the clients have just taken us to another level. And she's able to go, follow up. If they do order a piece of equipment, she can take it to their home, help set it up, and help them learn how to use it in their environment, which, as you know, you go somewhere, you try something, and, oh, this is great. And you get it home, and you're like, I'm never going to use this.
Yes, I do.
And that's not the point. We want you
Right.
to use it. We
Right.
want you to benefit from it.
What a get.
She's fabulous.
Just how did you ever find somebody that was an occupational therapist with this specialty?
She had a love of low vision. So while she was in school still for the low vision certification portion, she asked to come and kind of observe our low vision rehab center. And we had Heather Bordeaux at the time, so I did
yes.
have her come in.
Yes.
And she got to witness a few exams. And we started her part-time. She kept her regular job and just kind of came to us maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week. And as of a year ago, July, Anna became full-time. And we're able to keep her very, very busy.
I guess so. We have a lot of people that come into the low vision shop. Do you accept insurance for low vision?
Yes, that's the way we can keep that going. That operates more as a physician practice than it does a clinic. Our eyeglass area and eye exams, that's a regular clinic setting. There is no charge, and people qualify financially and such. But the low vision center, we do bill health insurance. But in true nonprofit form, we do have access to agencies that will help fund that. Grants that we can help people get equipment if they aren't able to afford it. Because, of course, equipment devices are not considered medically necessary in the insurance world, just like sometimes a hearing aid is not, and medically necessary. While we all feel all of this is very necessary,
Right.
and it's necessary to their life. So we do have some no interest loan programs. We have some funding. We have various ways that we can help these people, even if their insurance isn't adequate, or if they can't out of pocket buy a device, help them get what they need. We even have people that their family member has passed and they had gotten nice equipment here, and they'll bring it back and donate it back. So we're able to, check the working order of it and re-gift it.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good. So, in the eye clinic, then, are customers in the eye clinic seeing a regular eye doctor?
They are. We have 2 volunteer optometrists that man our eye clinic, and that's open a few Wednesdays out of the month. And these are doctors that practice, licensed and practice in the area in private practice, but they'd like to give a day a month to our clinic, which, of course, is invaluable to us.
Mm-hmm.
And then we contract with an optician, and we have our scheduler down there. What's interesting about our eye clinic is that we do have 2 funding sources to help us out. We work with the United Way Contact to Care program, so they refer clients to us from their program, but they do cover their expenses. And then there's the Pennsylvania Vision Foundation, and they will help us with the people that just kind of find us through other health clinics or just word of mouth, come in off the street, whatever it may be, that need our help. So they will help us to pay for those eyeglasses and such to get them what they need. And we do basic need eyeglasses down there. While the frames are fabulous, the lenses we keep to just what that individual needs, and that allows us to serve more people that way.
Didn't you used to be an optician here?
I did. I was the original optician here.
Yes.
Not nearly as qualified as the one we have now, but we got the job done. Yeah.
So you did everything here, really. You didn't lay carpet, and you didn't make pens. I think
I
that's
do that
about
at home. Does that matter? DIYs?
Yeah, I bet you do. Do you have any plans that you want to initiate in the future with Vision Resources?
Yeah, I think we need a bigger presence at our 2 longer reached counties, if you will, Perry County and Franklin County.
Yes.
We do have a support group in Franklin County, so that is wonderful. We have a client presence there, and our case coordinator services. Our prevention does the children's eye screenings in all 4 counties. But as far as, having a voice, I'd like to get somebody from Perry and Franklin on our board of directors. I'd like to get someone with a vision impairment back on our board of directors. We really want all of our clients and all of our areas to be represented properly and bring the needs to to us.
Well, let's assume for a minute that somebody is streaming this very interview and lives in either Franklin or Perry counties and or has a vision impairment and they would like to serve on the board. How would they go about making that known?
They could just simply contact me. I'd be happy to talk to them about it, and if they'd like to move forward, we go ahead with an interview, a tour, an application, and then I turn them over to the governance committee on the board of directors.
Okay, all right. And your number is?
717-238-2531, and I'm extension 105.
That's great, and hopefully this will give you a couple of people to consider.
I would love that.
Yes, I'm sure you would. Do you have any other any other visions for Vision Resource in the future?
I do. We're looking to always grow our business-to-business division, and that, of course, the dual purpose being employing more people with disabilities as well as funding greater and more extensive services. So we're looking to move more into the private industry. What businesses can we get in there, clean their building, clean their flooring and carpeting, install new carpeting. We have warehouse space available for rent here. We do fulfillment. We have office space even available upstairs here in the back to convert to people's needs. So there's always a way to bring people in and partner. Our commercial printing, we now do business cards. So, you have your business cards you want printed. Our prices are very reasonable. All we ever ask is give us an opportunity to quote a job, anything that we do here under VR Business Services, and know that, this money is going towards a good cause.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Cheryl, this has been a wonderful interview. Even though I've worked here for 15 years, I always learn something whenever I listen to my colleagues talking about what they do, because you sort of get swallowed up in what you do, and you're so focused on what you do, you're kind of not familiar with what else goes on in this organization. Oh, one more question I thought of.
Yes.
Does carpeting and flooring, do they do individual homes as well as businesses?
They do have a residential component. It is more difficult for them. It's easier for our crews to kind of go into a university and do the dorm.
Right.
Or a
Right.
business,
Right.
and do a level. But they are bonded and insured, and it is something that we do have some samples here to show people for residential. It's just a little harder to make it happen with scheduling and
Yes,
such.
yeah. Okay, well, that's good to know. And once again, if people are interested, they would call 717-238-2531.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Cheryl.
Thank you,
Have a
Liz.
great day.
You too.
And listeners, thank you for joining us.